to my highest and final presentation. I'm Hampton. I'm a 11th grader at Clear Horizons Early College High School. Thank you all for coming. So what is ISM? ISM stands for Independent Study Mentorship. We get to take a look into the professional world by looking up colleges and careers that we're interested in. And like, for example, one college I'm interested in is Houston Christian University. And then one career I'm interested in is the one I'm presenting to you today, which is baking. For my mentorship, I chose the baking pathway. That's my mentor, Janet Brotherton. She's a professional chef. She is the owner and founder of her own cooking business, 1230 Smokehouse. Like I said, I chose baking as a pathway. The reason why I chose it is because I'm very passionate about baking. I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years. I've enjoyed it every year that I've done it since the day I started. Finding a mentor, it was not an easy process. It took a long time. It's like looking for a job. But luckily, I was able to find my mentor with the help of my dad. When I first started my mentorship, I was very nervous because I didn't think I would get much out of it. Not because I doubted my mentor's ability, but rather because I doubted my own ability to pay attention and be able to keep up with it. And when we first started, I used up all my questions in like the first 10 minutes, and I needed to stretch this out for 3 hours. So it was very stressful to do so, but talking to my mentor was very fun, and all the questions after that came naturally. Out of this entire time that I've been doing baking in general, not many people have given me feedback, so it was a very rewarding experience to have my mentor provide me with feedback and advice throughout this mentorship. So my responsibilities, every Tuesday we would meet on Zoom and do our meeting. She would give me tasks to do after I took notes and asked all my questions. So I would have to do that complete all those tasks on my own time. And my main contribution to the mentorship was to take notes, ask questions, and test out recipes. Challenges I faced, one very big challenge was having a place to work. She lives up in Dallas, so I haven't really been able to work with her in person. So for these past few months, I've been doing it in my own kitchen. And doing it in my own kitchen is, well, it's pretty difficult because it's a very small area and you're trying to make a lot of things. Another challenge is not putting money aside before my mentorship began. I had some problems with money whenever I first started, and it was hard to pick up where I was left off whenever I was starting to do it. And then another problem was I never realized how much it costs to bake. For the entire 5 years I've been baking, I've been relying on my parents to pay for all of the ingredients, and they've been so gracious to do so. But as I had got my own money and had to pay my own way, it was not fun. It was not fun. So that is definitely a challenge that I face while working on this mentorship. This was a very good mentorship. I learned a lot of things. I learned to be more cost aware, of course. And most part of my progress, really, because like I mentioned earlier, I got feedback, which is, for my baking at least, is something that's very new to me. Usually when I would bake stuff, you'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so good, and then leave it at that. So it was very criticize, or at least with constructive criticism, and it really helped me out a lot. I learned a lot more, and I learned to be more efficient, and it just really helped a lot. And what I liked the most is that it was very fun to talk with my mentor. Maybe it's because she's a family friend, or maybe because we're just both funny people, who knows. But it was very fun to talk with her every meeting. It was never a low point of my day. Maybe I got to skip by, who knows. For my final product, I have made a dessert menu which you can find on the table right in front of you. I have chosen 4 desserts. I have made them all for you guys to try, to provide these desserts. I've done my own research, how different recipes that I can do, and how much it would cost for these things. I came up with this product because I was learning to make multiple desserts. If I was only making one dessert, this would not be my product at all. But luckily, I was learning multiple things, so I got to practice multiple things and execute multiple things. I practice making these desserts every weekend. So if you ever invited me out to make something and I said no, it's because I was doing that. It was very fun to do, very tiring to do, but it was really worth it in the end. I was luckily able to consistently bake throughout the entirety of this mentorship. Being able to do it every weekend is I'm very lucky that I was able to do it, because if I usually have everything else going on, but luckily the stars aligned or something, I was able to do this for the past few months. So, as I mentioned before, on your desk, there's menus. My mentor is currently passing them out. You can try them in any order you want. You can take your time and try them. We also provided a bottle of water, so if you want to just cleanse your palate in between, so you can get the best experience for each one. So, thank you all for coming. I would like to give a big thank you to all the students that came, to my evaluators, students, and a special thank you to Cameron, my youth pastor, for letting me use this building, and even more special, even bigger thank you to my mentor, Jen Burlington, for being able to deal with me for the past 8 months. These are the presentations, and do you have any questions? Yes.
What is one way to say
with time, I could say probably with time, because if I had been doing this on my own, I probably would have taken 12 hours to do it all. But somebody saying, move faster, you move too slow. I was able to move a lot faster and get this done, stuff done, prep it all and clean it all in 6 hours, which is probably about the fastest I've ever done. Thanks, good.
what would you say your favorite experience was?
My favorite experience. My favorite experience was probably being able to share the desserts with you guys, whether it was at this presentation or outside of it when I was practicing. Just because you had a question.
What would you say the best thing you made was?
Best thing I made, out of the newest things that I made, the best thing I made.
That's not for you to tell him.
Yeah, you guys can tell me that. But my personal opinion, the best thing I made out of the newest things I made was probably the pound cake. The first time I made it, it was a train wreck, but again, with Oh, my favorite thing to eat, probably those ham pies. Those taste really good. With all the cinnamon. And my favorite thing to bake, the cookies. Because I've been doing them for so long, it's just like, I can do them when I'm asleep, and they still turn out good. So, I'm very, lucky that I got to do that. Any more questions?
This food is quite indubitably delicious.
Any other questions?
Not for now. No, but I'd say, I agree with pound cake is amazing.
Also, you got a question?
What have you found to be the most beneficial thing out of your entire position?
Most beneficial thing? Probably being able to learn how it works in a professional kitchen. Because the entirety of this apprenticeship until this past weekend, I've been doing it on my own, in my own home. The only thing that was different this past weekend is that my mentor was here. So I have really gotten a good look on how it is to work in a professional kitchen. And all I really have to say is that I pray for her employees. But all jokes aside, it was very fun to be able to see what it's like to work under a professional chef. Okay, another question.
One more question. Now knowing the process of working inside of a professional kitchen, or at least knowing how to do the research and prepare for different desserts, how would that impact not only your baking, but next new thing you might want to make later on?
The first thing I would look at is money. As I mentioned before, money was definitely a tough part of this entire process. So I would definitely start to take the cost of things more seriously, and as well as do more research. There are endless amounts of information out there, and to stay confined on one bit of information is not the best idea. So utilize what we have. Look for new things.
How did you overcome